यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान गण प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। My best wishes and Paripurna Ashirvadam, all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and your entire family members. Today we are going to see the 26th verse of 5th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Krodha Viyuktanam Yatinam Yatachetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmanam. For the past 3 verses, Bhagavan Krishna using similar word Brahma Nirvanam, Brahma Nirvanam, Brahma Nirvanam. Brahma Nirvanam Rudhayaha Labhante, Brahma Nirvanam Vartate, Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Bhigacchati. Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Adhigacchati. What exactly the meaning of the word Brahma Nirvanam? Brahman means the consciousness which is all pervasive. We saw in the 2nd chapter itself. But the word Nirvanam, that which means to merge something, merger. Brahma Nirvanam means a person who has merged with the consciousness called Brahman. But you should not take it as a physical way. It is self-identification with Brahman. The person who could identify himself means the real self with Brahman called Brahma Nirvanam. Even Mahavira uses this word, Mahanirvana. Mahanirvana means they indicate moksha. Moksha is, the liberation is Mahanirvana. But Bhagavan Krishna uses very carefully this word, we have to realize. Because the people who has become yati, again this word yati is used for sannyasis. Sannyasa means to give up what? The duties of his birth, to give up for the sake of pursuing the supreme knowledge, not merely to give up. Even a sports person, he gives up the wrong food, he is sticking with the target. When your child, your son is pursuing 10th or +2, I have seen a total family who were observing sannyasa. No TV, no mobile, no internet connection, no ice cream, even guests are kept away. They are living in the city but they are isolated from all activities, and even no phone calls are attended while they study. Completely they dedicate for the studies. In the same way, a person who could dedicate his entire duties for the sake of this supreme knowledge sake, that is known as a sannyasa. But here it is for Arjuna. Arjuna was not eligible to become sannyasa. The inner sannyasa is focused here. And for the past 2 verses, so nicely Bhagavan Krishna is giving the result of the Jnana Yoga. So first he began it from the last words. He said, Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. The result of Jnana Yoga, you will become a person who will work for the welfare of all the beings, because usually we are swahite rataha. Swahite means we always work for our selfish. So this selfishness, it is by the natural itself, from the birth we own it. But when you come out of that shell, breaking the shell, because when you think I have to take care of myself, then I have the selfishness. But when you realize I am not a limited one, I am the pervaded all Brahman alone, your fear is broken. Again and again, Bhagavan Krishna is emphasizing you have to break your shell, the shell which is created by ignorance. That ignorance about the self is creating the shell for the self. We are being born in the shell alone. We continue with our life with the shell alone. We achieve the death and again birth. Everything happens with our own shell made up of ignorance. Now Bhagavan Krishna, he wants to break the shell. Therefore he says, Sarva Bhota Hite Rataha. The result of Jnana Yoga, the shell is being broken. And broken shell people who doesn't have fear and who doesn't have anger, who doesn't have desire, means selfish desires. They may have the desire for all beings. Therefore, Sarva Bhota Hite Rataha means, so who can think, who can work for all the people's well-being. Yatatmanaha. Yatatmanaha means who had got a qualification. So this is step by step he is introduced. A spiritual seeker, first he renounced the world. He renounced the world means he cannot renounce the world. Nobody can give up the world. Who are you to give up the world? Because your body itself is given to you. Who are you? How can you give up this body? How can you give up these sense organs? How can you avoid sound? You cannot have any wall, great wall or subtle wall, even walls by online, this new inventional electrical wall to protect the sound. You cannot isolate yourself from the sound. You cannot isolate you from the weather condition. You cannot isolate yourself from all sensory objects. But you can withdraw your attention towards you, because self is unaffected. It is detached with these all outer and inner circumstances. That's what he says. Yatatmana means a spiritual seeker, first he keeps himself isolated in order to gain the qualification, in order to become focused, concentrated, so that he could realize his self. Therefore, in the beginning time, people go to the cave. It's not that after attaining the knowledge one should be at the cave. They are not covered. They are not having the fear of the society. They isolate themselves in the beginning stage to gain the energy, to gain the qualification, to be endowed with himself or itself. That's what yatatmanaha, all the spiritual seekers, first they change their mind. They want to come out of all the barriers, the shell. For that they dig themselves, because that shell has to be broken. That's what used the word chinnadvaidha. Because the self-conclusion, world can bother me. The same world can give happiness. The same world can give trouble also to me. Therefore what? I have to protect myself. This ignorance means this fear is out of ignorance, must be broken by breaking the cell. Yatatmanaha means one who has got mastery over his sense organs. So these sense organs, once you are getting the victory over them, then you will definitely Krina Kalmasha. So you will be called Krina Kalmasha means you won't commit papa again because you are withdrawn person. So first you break the shell, then you dwell inside, then you become pure. Once you become pure, you will be called a Rishi. Rishi means the person who is endowed with knowledge. When you have become a Rishi, then you are free from karma, you are free from krodha, you are called Yati because you have got victory over your own mind, your own likes and dislikes. Then what? You can identify yourself, means you can merge yourself with the total consciousness. So it is said as the physical way, but you have to realize that is not physical. Just we are breaking the cell from the standpoint of vritti alone, thoughts alone. The Jnana Yoga Phalam means the fruit of Jnana Yoga. You become a Rishi, you become a Yati. The both words, Rishi who can be a married person, Yati the inner sannyasa or outer sannyasa. So means inner sannyasa, and even you can observe the sannyasa even outside, doesn't matter, but you become Yati. Yati means sannyasi alone. Then next words, Sparishan kritva bahirbahyan chakshushchaivantare bhruvoh pranapanau samau kritva nasabhyantaracharinav. Yeah. Now he is bringing the topic of Nididhyasanam, because Vedanta studies, they are in the three levels. First, Shravanam. When you come to a guru, the guru will teach you what to be taught. He will observe the methodology, that which is appropriate to you. Therefore, every Shishya need not to expect the same methodology. The same guru may change the method to teach Shishya to Shishya, because according to the maturity of the Shishya, guru changes the teaching method. You can see Arjuna was a Shishya. In Purana, Prahlada also was a Shishya. Even Dattatreya was taught by so many varieties of gurus, varieties of sources, and Nachiketa, who was taught by Lord Yama itself. The guru was a strange person and Shishya was also a unique person, but the combination happened, which we call it Kathopanishad. And there was more Shishyas like Uddhalaka. So this Arunihi, Uddhalaka, the combination. So that is also, Bhragarvai Arunihi Varunam Pitaram Upasachara Adhehi Bhagavo Brahmeti. So this Bhragarvai Varunihi, the combination of both of them. The disciple is unique and Guru also changes according to his maturity. For Arjuna, he completely understand or given a solid understanding what is Jnana Yoga and what is the Jnana Phalam. Jnana Phalam, you have become completely inner sannyasi, the person who can do something for the society. When you are filled with joy, when you are filled with adequacy, whatever you do for the society, that will be the boon for the society, termed by Lord Krishna as Loka Sangraha. That's what the motto is. If you imagine every family man or every sannyasi are matured enough, they are able to control themselves, they are able to break their shells, that is the condition. You could imagine how the world will be glorifying. Once Shravanam is taking the place, Shravanam is the chemistry between Guru and Shishya. Then Mananam, see, all the doubts will be cleared, which has created the shell in Shishya's mind. So this breaking the shell, it is known as Chinnadvaidha. This Shravanam Mananam, once you become thorough about the content, then now your buddhi is occupied by Brahmavritti, Akhandakara Brahmavritti, that I am nothing but Brahman. Even afterwards, you need to go for Nididhyasanam. The next chapter will begin this Nididhyasanam portion alone, but here he has introduced in the 3 verses in the short way what is called Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is nothing but meditation. Now you have to be given little bit information about the word dhyanam. Dhyanam means dhyai chintayam. Dhyai means to think something. That's the literal meaning by the word dhyanam. To contemplate on something, to sticking with one vritti, one thought. If you think of a rose, then you are endowed with rose vritti, the thought of rose. If you continuously being with that thought is known as dhyanam. But dhyanam is a common word, but which is also interpreted as a nididhyasanam. Okay, this dhyanam word has to be understood a little bit more. To contemplate on something for what? Why should I attain dhyanam? Why should I observe dhyanam? What is the purpose? And many people say that to sit in the meditation means, I have also seen in many ashramas they ask us to sit in a place and they ask us to close, they ask us to think, then do meditation. What do you do in meditation? Meditation for what? Just meditation is for the sake of meditation. You cannot say in that way. There are lots of confusions are going on regarding meditation. Meditation means to think for what has to be clear first. Before sitting for the meditation, you should be clear what for that meditation. And people say that to relax yourself. That's fine. Then what about your sleep? Are you not relaxing the sleep? No, in the sleep, a physical system only relax, but the psychological aspect is not relaxing. Who said then you don't know how to sleep? Before beginning the meditation, you should know how to sleep. Sleep will help meditation. Meditation won't help for the sleep, because meditation is the next step. The sleep, proper sleep, in the sleep you should have the deepness. That deep sleep, the density of the sleep will prepare healthy mind and the healthy physical system. With the healthy mind and the healthy physical system alone, you could do meditation. Therefore, in the Ashtanga Yoga, he has kept as the 8th or means 7th limb, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. He has fixed as the 7th step. He has not given in the beginning itself. Yama and niyama is to control your karmendriya, jnanendriya, sama, dhamma. Then once you are able to fix yourself with one discipline, those disciplines will help you to gain a proper strong mind and body. With a strong and mind and body alone, you can sit for the meditation. When you sit for the meditation without knowing the purpose of the meditation, meditation will be vain. Now, in order to know the nature of meditation, before that you have to know the nature of your sleep. If you consider meditation is to get relaxation, more relaxation, So that is good, quiet, you can sit for your meditation. But are you practiced enough to sit in a place? In order to sit in a place without having any movement, you need to have the training. You should have ability to sit without any movement. If there is any movement, you cannot have the mind which doesn't move, because the subtle body is known as mind, the gross mind is known as the body. The meditation word has to be realized first. Now, in Bhagavan Krishna's language, meditation means that you may think that is to get relaxation, but he says meditation is two kinds. The meditation which helps you to get the progress of spiritual things are called before knowledge. Okay, before the realization there is the meditation in order to get the qualification for the knowledge. After attaining knowledge, there also meditation continues. That meditation is known as the meditation which is also termed as Nididhyasanam. Now Bhagavan Krishna, he divides the word meditation, the meaning of the word meditation, into two words. One is known as upasana, another is known as nididhyasana. Upasana means to worship. To worship means what? Without any contemplation you cannot worship anything. This contemplation and worship both has to be together. Means the concentration and worship, when they are together, called meditation. So without worship, if mere concentration is there, then that is not considered as the meditation. Meditation means it should have a process of contemplation, process of concentration, process of upasana. Upasana means worship. This meditation will gain moksha, so you can do meditation for liberation, but you can also do meditation to get extra power. That's what Patanjali says. Meditation will improve your ability for your life, and also it will bring more special powers. If you wish those powers, then Brahmajnana comes. Those powers also limited. Now this person here, once you observe the knowledge about the self being identified with the Brahman, now you feel, my God, I am not limited person, I am not a person who die, I am the person who is beyond birth and death. Then what? That has to be contemplated. The knowledge has to be assimilated. If the knowledge is not assimilated properly, the restlessness will continue, the shell won't be broken. So when the shells are not broken, you cannot be at peace. The jnana phalam means Brahma Nirvanam is not achieved. Because of the prarabdha, because of the habitual mistake, the samsara may continue. In order to purify that samsara, in order to bring you and establish yourself in the consciousness, Brahman consciousness, we need to have a process. That process is known as nididhyasanam, means meditation after knowledge. Meditation before knowledge with lots of longing, confusion, but after knowledge, you are not with the outside world, just you are digging with you and the knowledge which are imparted and which are observed from the Guru. Now you are contemplating on the knowledge which is in your buddhi, and you are becoming one with that contemplation. That is known as Nididhyasana. Once you hear the Shravana, Vedanta Shravana and all scriptures, they ask you to contemplate on yourself. Aham bhavena pujayet. So Ishvara is in you. When you go to Lord Balaji, in front of Lord Balaji, when you look at him, automatically your eyes closed. Why? The Balaji which is seen outside, the God which is seen outside, is also identified with the self, because God is nothing but the self. That identification so happens after this progression. That progress is being introduced. Sparshan kritva bahihi bahyan. So we have to little bit rearrange bahyan, sparshan bahihi kritva. Now he is very much aware about the self and very much aware about the world also. He could stop outside worlds in the outside itself, because we always allow world to penetrate in you, in us, therefore we suffer a lot. But this person can stop the source of outside, that which is in the form of emotion, that which in the form of comments, that which is in the form of expectations, that which is in the form of relationship, whatever it is. So he could stop them away, not physically. Don't come to meet me, don't see to me, don't talk to me. He won't say anything. Just he could be with himself, though he responds with the world to the world, but he is not affected with the world. That's what is known as Brahma Nirvanam. Bahihi sparshan bahihi kritva. Sparshan means the five aspects elemental world, which is in the form of all vyavahara transaction. Okay, but transaction is not stopped. It's not that he won't talk to anybody, he won't see anybody, and he won't do any business. He will be doing all, but he will keep them away. He will keep them away means not outside physically. He won't allow them to disturb his sadhana. And chakshuhu bhruvoho antare kritva. So, contemplating his focus on the center of eyebrows. Then doing pranayama sadhana, balancing pranayama. See, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras are given in different way. Pranayama means this yama, niyama, pranayama. So yama is said in the next words. Let me read it also. Yatendriyamano buddhihi munirmoksha parayanaha vigatecha bhaya krodhaha yasada mukta eva saha. You have to remember this. Techniques are introduced after knowledge. Yatendriya mano buddhihi moksha parayanaha. The target is fixed, okay, by a sadhaka. If sadhaka means what? Sadhaka means who has sadhya. Sadhya means destination. When you fix the destination, you are called a sadhaka. But here, the destination is moksha. When you fix the destination is nothing but moksha, you are called spiritual seeker. Once you fix the destination, then you have to conquer your body, mind and sense complex, known as yama, niyama. Okay, so yama, niyama is told in the 28th chapter. And not only that, this yama, niyama also has to be given with prayojana. Prayojana means when you observe yama, the mental, physical discipline, and niyama, the mental discipline, both will make you, both will give the maturity. Vigade cha bhaya krodhaha. Sadhana phala sadhya pada. There are so many technical words. So, but I am not bringing them. When you observe two kinds of discipline, the first yama, physical discipline, every day morning, get up early by 5 o'clock at least. Usually, 4 or 4:30 you have to be awakened. And many people say that system, it has gone after this electrical world have come. Therefore, we suffer a lot. You may illumine the night. You may uncover the darkness. You may uncover means what I say, no? So you may just vanish the darkness. It doesn't mean that you have become okay with your physical system. The physical system needs rest during the night time. You have to make your room as much as possible dark. Then you have to have the sleep. The sleep is the only one key you can tell how healthy you are. If you are not able to sleep properly, you cannot get spiritual progress, not even materialistic progress. You cannot lead your life in a healthy way. You cannot construct any relationship. You cannot be okay with anybody. Therefore, the physical system and mental system, I mean psychological system, needs complete rest. Okay, complete sleep. For that, you need to have a proper channelized physical and psychological system. So slowly Bhagavan Krishna emphasizes, and we don't forget, after knowledge these things are need to be done. So when the person is not matured enough to assimilate the knowledge, after even listening to what Jnana Yoga, if he is not finding the fruit what to be found, this Nididhyasanam will help. There are texts which helps us to do Nididhyasanam, Atma Bodha, then Brahmana Chintanam, Atmanu Bhuti. So there are lots of texts are given for Nididhyasana sake alone. We will continue this subject in the next session, the next episode tomorrow. Thank you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.